Do you ever feel like money slips through your fingers, no matter how hard you work? What if the problem isn't your job, but your mindset? In this video, I'll show you the hidden beliefs blocking your financial abundance and how to finally attract more wealth, freedom, and opportunity into your life. Stay with me because this might change the way you think about money forever. Have you ever wondered whether money is something positive or negative? Most of us wouldn't mind if our bank accounts were a little fuller, but hardly anyone stops to think about what money actually represents. In this video, I'll explore both the practical and the more inner side of finances. First, we'll take a down-to-earth look at how money moves through our lives, and then we'll shift into a more mindset-based, even spiritual perspective. The video is short, so if something catches your attention, feel free to jump into the comments. That way, I'll know what topics you'd like me to expand on in future episodes. It doesn't matter whether you're building a business, dreaming up a project, working a regular job, or studying. Managing money consciously is useful to everyone. A lot of people feel like cash keeps slipping away from them. I know that feeling myself. When payday came, I'd feel rich for about 2 days, and then reality hit. Empty wallet again. That's why it's important to become aware of how we handle money, not just how much we make. One simple step. Know exactly how much comes in every month and write it down. Set a financial target for yourself, something realistic that you want to reach over time. At the start of this year, for example, I took my previous yearly income and used it to set a higher goal for the year ahead. Personally, I don't think of it as earning more. I think of it as being more open to receiving. Later in the video, I explain why this mindset shift matters. If you're constantly short on cash and can't explain why, try examining the little habits you repeat every day. For me, it was coffee 2 cups daily at cafes or at the gym. It didn't feel like much at the time, but at around €2 a day, that adds up to €60 a month, and over €700 in a year. All on coffee. I didn't quit coffee altogether, but becoming aware of it changed the way I think about spending. Smokers, fast food lovers, online shoppers. Add up those small expenses across 12 months. The number might surprise you, and it might inspire you to put that money toward something that genuinely improves your life. I call this shift the move from financial autopilot to financial awareness. When we spend unconsciously, money disappears like water through fingers. And if you like shopping online, using cashback services can help you get a portion of your money back, some up to 33% on certain sites. There's a link in the description if you want to try it, with a little welcome bonus for new users. One last thing to remember. Modern money doesn't have intrinsic value. Long ago, currency was backed by gold, something people considered valuable. Today, money is created digitally and printed freely. That's the system we're living in. Let your money move. Don't let them sleep. Money are all around us, constantly circulating, and it's up to us whether we allow them to flow toward us or not. There's one simple thing a lot of people don't realize. If you just let your savings sit in a regular bank account, they slowly lose purchasing power over time. Prices rise every year due to inflation. Food, services, everyday costs go up, which means the same amount of cash buys less than before. Imagine there were only €1,000 in existence. That amount would represent a lot of value. But if suddenly there were 10 times more currency in circulation, your €1,000 wouldn't stretch nearly as far. The more money exists, the weaker each unit becomes. So if you've managed to set something aside, it might be wise to think about putting it somewhere it can grow: investments, stocks, commodities like gold or silver, or maybe at least some kind of fund. I know people who proudly hoard cash in their bank accounts, believing it's the safest thing to do. Yet they don't realize that those savings quietly shrink in value every single year. Another option is to invest in assets that appreciate over time. Something simple like buying a garage to rent out. That's real estate, usually worth more as the years go by. The idea is simple. Let your money leave home so it can work for you and return with company. There's nothing greedy about that. It's just smart thinking. People often respond with, "If it were really that easy, everyone would do it." But the truth is, not everyone has the patience, discipline, or curiosity to manage their money consciously. Look at what's happening during crises like the pandemic when airlines struggled. Their stock value dropped. If you buy shares during the downturn and hold them, then when travel rebounds, the value of those companies rises again. Let's say you bought 10 shares at €10 each, and later each is worth 20. Suddenly, you've earned €100 by simply being strategic. These are basic examples, but they show the principle. Personally, I'm the type of person who thinks deeply about everything. I analyze, reflect, and ask myself, how can this be improved? What can I create from this? Could this be useful to someone else? That mindset affects how I treat money too. When I realized I had more than before, I didn't want to let it sit idly. I started asking, how can I put this €100 to work? And if it brings back more money, maybe I can buy better equipment like a higher quality camera, which allows me to produce even better videos and help more people. That's the point. Money can serve a purpose beyond just spending. So yes, you should have a financial goal. Some might protest. But how? I only earn €700 a month from my job. Well, calculate what that becomes over a year. Then set a slightly higher target, something to reach for. That's how growth starts. Let your money work. And clean up your money mindset. Don't overthink how the money will arrive. Just give yourself a realistic target and put it down on paper. Even something simple like €1000 this year is fine. The point is to move forward, not to predict the exact route the money will take. I run consultations every week, and I've seen people completely change their lives just by setting a clear goal. Once they knew how much they were earning and how much more they wanted, even a little more, opportunities started showing up. A boss offered a raise, a bonus appeared. Someone noticed a skill they had and asked them to provide a service, or they found a small side gig. The universe finds ways to help, but you need to be clear about what you want. Also, keep track of what you spend each month. Cigarettes, coffee, gym, clothes, food, list it all. I'm not saying don't enjoy life, money should flow. But be aware of where it goes and whether you're investing in yourself. If someone ends each month without money and they spent €100 on coffees, €50 at restaurants, and €100 on little trips, yet never invested in learning, no books, no documentaries, no meaningful conversations, then they shouldn't be surprised that life doesn't give them more. Spending only on fleeting pleasures doesn't expand your capacity to receive. Invest in yourself. Buy knowledge, experiences that grow you, tools that increase your value. If you don't put anything into yourself, you won't radiate the kind of energy that attracts more back. So use some of your money on self-growth, and it can come back multiplied. Now ask yourself, what are money to you? Think about it and answer honestly. Many people were taught that money is evil, that it's the root of all bad things, or that only criminals and corrupt people have lots of money. Maybe you heard, money doesn't grow on trees, or rich people are greedy. These beliefs shape how you receive money. First, remember, money is energy like everything else. Whatever you emit to the world, you receive in return. If you radiate positive energy but secretly believe money is bad, you'll block money because accepting it would feel like accepting something bad. If you think money is only earned through painful struggle, you create another block, even if you're otherwise positive. We need to be clean on both sides. Emit good energy and hold beliefs about money that match what you want. Reevaluate your stories about money. Does having money make you a bad person? No, money simply reveals character. It's a tool. A weapon can be used to harm or to protect. The weapon itself isn't evil, the user decides. The same goes for money. Treat money as neutral, a resource that can be used for good when wielded responsibly. Having money doesn't corrupt you. If your aim is to help people, to lift others out of poverty, to fund education or healthcare, you need resources to do so. You can't effectively help others from a place of lack. So change your relationship with money. See it as a means to create good, to grow, to help. That shift in perspective makes a huge difference. Why wanting money isn't always selfish, and what we're really after. I eventually had to find reasons why I wanted to become wealthy and open myself up to receiving more. I couldn't motivate myself with selfish desires like, I just want nicer things. Those didn't resonate. So I searched for reasons that aligned with who I wanted to be, reasons that helped me reprogram my mindset. And I realized if I want to give more to the world, support causes, help people, create positive change, I need resources to do that. So take a moment and reflect on money. What do you truly believe about it? And try to find meaningful reasons why having more could be good. Not just for you, but for others too. But now comes a deeper question. Why do we even want more money? What's the feeling behind it? Someone might say, well, money buys a car, better food, comfort. But the emotion we're really chasing is freedom. We want the freedom to choose, to eat what we want, to travel when we want, to say yes to opportunities without fear. If every purchase forces you to debate, to hold back, to feel restricted, that's not freedom. That's emotional imprisonment. So we're not actually hunting paper notes, we're hunting the feeling of being free. I remember when buying a simple pizza felt like a major financial hit. I'd feel anxious just thinking about spending a bit extra on a drink. That was painful. One of my earliest financial dreams was simply to go for pizza or coffee without stress. I even developed a love for mangoes a few years back. But at €2 each, eating one daily felt like a luxury I couldn't afford. €60 a month was enormous for me at that time. Little desires become symbols of freedom. If you're starting a project, creating videos, building a brand, don't approach it with the sole intention of making money. Yes, income can happen, but whether it makes you happy is a separate question. I never started with the thought, this must make me rich. I began from the heart, and somehow life supported me in return. Be mindful of how you feel when spending money. When you're at a store, load your cart, and the cashier says, €44. Don't react with dread. That payment feeds you, supports farmers, pays transport workers, funds the cashier's salary, and contributes taxes to the community. Be grateful that you can participate in that flow. Don't think, I'm losing €44. Think, I'm sending €44 into circulation, and it will return to me in some multiplied form. What we give, we receive. If paying fills you with resentment, life will mirror that by handing you more situations that force you to pay resentfully. But when you release the negativity, detach from scarcity, and see the bigger picture, you start attracting experiences where spending feels good, because you trust there's always more coming. I get it, thinking about money can feel stressful. Something we interact with daily. But here's a powerful truth. If we learn to think about money in a healthy way, we develop inner strength and spiritual maturity. When something affects us every day and we learn to transform our relationship with it, we evolve into stronger, more conscious humans. Change your money mindset, and money will change how it shows up. The message of this video is simple. Shift the way you think about money, and money can begin flowing toward you. Transform your relationship with it. Treat money kindly, appreciate it, respect it, be grateful for it. Don't be afraid to invite more in. You know you're a good person, and when good people have more resources, they can create more kindness in the world. Money itself can become a vehicle for generosity. Because I now have more, I can buy food for animal shelters. Because I now have more, I can support nonprofit organizations. Because I now have more, I can donate clothing to families that truly need it. And when you give from the heart, without attachment, without expectation, life has a way of returning that goodness. The beautiful thing is, when it does, it won't even be about getting something back. You'll give because you genuinely want to help. So if there's one thing to take away from this video, it's that money isn't just numbers on a screen. It's a reflection of how we think, feel, and show up in the world. When we shift our beliefs, when we release fear, and when we choose gratitude instead of worry, our financial reality can start to transform. Remember, you are worthy of abundance. You are allowed to receive. And the more you grow, the more good you can create around you. Start small, stay conscious, keep your heart open, and watch what happens. Thanks for spending this time with me. If this message resonated with you, feel free to share it, leave a comment, or pass it on to someone who might need it today. Stay inspired, and I'll see you in the next video.